If you're here just for a TV show and a one-night stand, it isn't going to cut it. We have got to determine that we're going to take our community back, we're going to take our streets back. We live here, and we're going to control the streets in our community.
Northeast Portland residents take to the streets to protect their neighborhood.
A lot of people like to say we're living in a ghetto, but in a ghetto, I think, is just in the minds of people.
You know, this is our territory, this is our community.
I like living in this neighborhood because it has a lot of interracial families.
I put 29 years of my sweat into my home. Why should I move? I like Northeast. Why should I have to go anyplace else?
Has this neighborhood changed a lot over that 29 years? Did it start off being a lot different place for you to raise your children than it would be now if you were raising children?
Yes, I think that I have watched the neighborhood go from one
mostly white to mostly black. Press 1, because she seemed a little tongue-tied. This is Portland in 1985. Niggas ruined Portland in 1985. Portland.
I like Northeast. Why should I have to go anyplace else?
Has this neighborhood changed a lot over that 29 years? Did it start off being a lot different place for you to raise your children than it would be now if you were raising children?
Yes, I think that I have watched the neighborhood go from one that I think everyone would have liked to have raised their kids in to one that we have had lots of concerns and lots of frustration. And it's a neighborhood that we would love to be proud of, but in the past 3 years, I think that we have dealt with more drugs, prostitution than ever before. I have had to go out with sticks to make them remove themselves in front of my door. And I'm not too sure that is really all of my job. But when I call the police and we don't get a response, then we have to do the best that we can.
You don't get a response, you mean the police don't show up?
That's right.
Guarantee you this old, she not even a boomer. She older than a boomer. She was born like the 30s and shit. For the 20s, complaining the police don't show up enough. Black people complaining that the police don't show up in their neighborhood enough. In 1985 in Portland, they not like us. You
don't get a response, you mean the police don't show up?
That's right.
This is Jeanette Fagan School, and I'm Betty Jeanette Fagan Smith. And our location is at 606 Northeast Fremont. I've lived in this area for 30 years nearly. I'm a mother of 4. My youngest daughter, who works here, is Deborah. We are pretty family-oriented because I know most of these parents. I've known them since they were small. And so most of them grew up here in the neighborhood with my kids as they grew up. So it is pretty much a neighborhood type of school. There are a lot of good people live here. A lot of good things are going on. It's a safe place to be.
A lot of people would not believe you if you said it's a safe place.
Well, they wouldn't know unless they lived here or came into the area and worked in the area. They only know what they heard on television or read in the newspaper. But it isn't as bad as it seems. Of course, those things that's happening on Union Avenue with the prostitutes and Alberta Street with the dope pushers, that's just one small area of this neighborhood. You know, if it's as bad as they say it is here, then a few blocks down the street near the Lloyd Center, it should also be as bad. But because it's not a predominantly black area, then it's not considered a bad area.
Listen to what she says.
Or read the newspaper, but it isn't as bad as it seems. Of course, those things that's happening on Union Avenue with the prostitutes and Alberta Street with the dope pushers, that's just one small area of neighborhood. You know, if it's as bad as they say it is here, then a few blocks down the street near the Lloyd Center, it should also be as bad. But because it's not a predominantly black area, then it's not considered a bad area. And I think a lot of people are fearful of the area simply because it is a black area. This is my name, not a predominantly black area, then it's not considered a bad area. And I think a lot of people are fearful of the area simply because it is a black area, bad area. And I think a lot of people are fearful of the area simply because it is a black area.
Portland, 1985. A lot of people fearful of the area because it's a black area. They not like us. Crime down, though. Crime is down. What's going on, new guy? What's your thoughts, man?
I thought Portland didn't have black people.
It don't take a lot. You gotta
That's
remember,
true.
Portland's 7% black.
Oh wow, yeah, that's not a lot, but 7% black. But there's like the 4 or 5 times factor you got to put in because they're going to be on the streets. So 7 times 5 is what you get.
And also, they're probably going to be congregated in a certain part of town.
Yeah, like in the heart of downtown, they'll just kind of be there.
Yeah.
So what she's saying is correct then. Yeah, like people don't want to be in those areas. I mean, what's the problem with that?
I think she's trying to say that it's something that's racist, that people don't want to be in the black areas because, every single black person is not a pimp or a thug or a pusher.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is not that.
Yeah, the whole not all. That'll be the death of us, won't it? It's just and when is this? 75? When is this?
85.
Okay. Well, same difference. It's like a long time ago, and it's still the same bullshit going on.
On Union Avenue with the prostitutes and Alberta Street with the dope pushers. That's just one small area of this neighborhood. If it's as bad as they say it is here, then a few blocks down the street near the Lloyd Center, it should also be as bad. But because it's not a predominantly black area, then it's not considered a bad area. And I think a lot of people are fearful of the area simply because it is a black area. This is my neighborhood, and I like it.
Mr. Whitaker, who's this? The short? Mr. Whitaker, I'm advised you of your rights also, sir. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against in the court of law. You have the right to... This is heroin. And this is what? Free based on cocaine? Okay. Of course, you don't mind if I have that just to make sure.
Cocaine, which would later be known as crack.
Okay. Where'd you get the cocaine from?
Same guy. That all the time.
Okay. I live in the surrounding area. I have family. I have friends. I have a mother-in-law that lives in the neighborhood here. I grew up in the neighborhood, and I just have a certain, affinity, attachment to this neighborhood. I like it. Well, for one thing, I think it's important that the kids up here have some type of role model, other than just the pimps, the prostitutes, the dope peddlers. If a child just sees all that, then when they become older, they believe, well, geez, when I was younger, all these things were socially acceptable. Now that I'm older and things become difficult and I can't make it in life, I'll do the same thing.
What's it like to drive through your own neighborhood and see people like that out on the streets selling drugs and turning tricks, and they're not afraid when you come by?
It's somewhat disheartening, because you hate to see any human being involved in something like that. Sometimes I drive through that area and I look at it and I can reminisce. I see myself standing on the corner walking down the street. I see myself walking from Humboldt School down the street on home, and you just look and you say, geez, by the grace of God, or for some reason, I didn't turn out like a number of people did. These guys are always up there standing on the corner, allegedly selling.
I mean, nothing has changed. Nothing.
All these people, like their ancestors, so to speak, like all the people in Portland, like moved there. It's like there's no like, I don't know how you blame anyone other than them for what the condition they're in. Did they even have slavery in Oregon? They didn't, right?
No slavery in Oregon, man.
Didn't they have this thing where like there was no slavery, but like there was like a black exclusion like law was passed? Basically, they tried to make like the state like free of sons.
I knew there was something. There's some kind of racist history with Oregon. I can't remember, but yeah, there's some kind of thing that the black people there complain about how it was used to be racist. I might have to research that.
I think what they're saying is like it's true. Like there was like slavery was outlawed, but they also, like, I believe, made it so that sons couldn't move to the territory.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And so the sons that happened to be there or somehow made it there were quote unquote discriminated against, but like there was never slavery.
Mm-mm.
So all these people we see on the screen come from the South, right? Like at some point, their ancestors voluntarily decided to move to racist Oregon, apparently. Like so.
Oh yeah.
The gliders just wanted like free association. They just didn't want to deal with the bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, man. Like whatever their fears were that wanted them to keep black people out of Oregon, the second black people showed up, they proved them right. The second they showed up.
Yeah.
Allegedly selling. That's why a lot of times you have these guys that'll run up to cars that are just driving by, and you'll have 2 or 3 people, and they'll be just like brokers on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. They'll sit there and they'll be bargaining for how much they'll sell a bag for. And
the old curbside service there.
The old curbside drive-up service. I love when you got a camera. They don't want to stick around. It's like they're ashamed for some reason. How can they go in their own neighborhood and do it? The people up here do care about their neighborhood, and they are willing to become involved in it. They're not content to just sit sit down and watch the neighborhood deteriorate.
Don't seem like the police can do anything about it. The citizens got to take it upon themselves to try to stop this from going on, because we got kids and we got to try to protect them.
Well, surely you can't afford to stay out here every day, though.
Well, if we have to, we will, so we can get this cleared up.
This is my son, Donald Page Jr., and he's out here. He's out picketing because he's tired of having all these drugs in the community, and they're so close to his school, and him and all his other friends, you know, they can see what's going on, and these people are setting a really bad example for the children at Martin Luther King Elementary School.
You know what they say?
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Elementary School. That was their first mistake.
Yeah, it's no. These people are like despicable, to be honest. Like this Boonquisha is holding up her dumb little sign, knowing that it's her people who are like creating this issue.
I think what she's trying to show is that, like, hey, me and my son, we're some of the good ones. We're not like, we're black, but we're not with it. It's kind of like the same thing when black people make "I got black fatigue too" videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this is the 1985 version of that.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, she's just like, yeah, man, and I would love to know what her son grew up like, what he ended, what his story, you know, arc, because he looks about my age. This would be 85. He looks like he's about 7 or 8. Yeah, he's about my age. It would be interesting to see how he ended up.
Having all these drugs in the community, and they're so close to his school, and him and all his other friends, you know, they can see what's going on, and these people are setting a really bad example for the children at Martin Luther King Elementary School.
You know what they say?
Yeah. You go home and we'll go home.
What does that mean?
Just go somewhere far from there isn't any children.
My heart hurts when I come out here, but how else am I gonna get some money? We not robbing, we not stealing. There's a lot of these people out here got kids to take care of family. How does they eat? Like, we ain't having no jobs. We not out here robbing. We not out here stealing nothing. You know, we just having a legit business. They giving us money.
If you're getting over means that we have to suffer as a community, you can't get over like that. You're going to have to find some way else to get over. You can't get over by putting us down. People up on Council Crest don't have to stand out in the rain like this about dope, right? I hope everybody realizes that people out in Eastmoreland don't have to get wet making speeches like this about dope, right? I hope everybody realizes that when you go in some of these other rich parts of town, people don't have to walk up and down the street carrying signs about...
Because there ain't no black people over there. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's just like the same old song and dance.
It's dope over there. You think it ain't dope in them rich neighborhoods? They got the best dope. They just ain't killing each other. They ain't hanging on the corner. They ain't like...
Yeah, for some reason, like whites can listen to rap and hip hop and not kill each other. It's like,
right.
Like no matter what, like we're gonna act differently. And like, cause these sons though, like this guy and his microphone and that son lady, like they must at some level they know like we are the problem. like this is Oregon. Like there was
I don't know. Because, you know, remember, like, if you're educated in the U.S. educational system, you're told that it's white people from the beginning.
Yeah, the blank slate. No, I hear you.
Yeah, and think about it. If you're not based or you're not red pilled, which everybody's not, the YouTube, especially this channel, right, will give you a false, you know what I'm saying, survey of you know,
of sons. Yeah, no, for sure.
Filled up our jails, and our police have had to resort to issuing citations to people who should have wound up behind bars.
Now, we understand about jail space. We are now ready to go get some of these empty school buildings and man them ourselves to put these people locked up.
Man, she talking about making jails, converting schools into prisons. That's the first prison pipeline. This sister literally said, take the old schools and turn them into prisons. A black woman, 1985.
Yeah, our 1985's Pantheon.
Jeez. Yeah, where's Pantheon? Pantheon ain't been on in a while, man. She went ghost, man.
Wound up behind bars.
Now, we understand about jail space. We are now ready to go get some of these empty school buildings and man them ourselves to put these people locked up.
You say you're going to get some community work. Get them down on Monday to Union Avenue. Give them a broom, give them a damn shovel, give them a garbage can. The drug dealers now are getting so old that they come out while we out there protesting. They don't care because that's because the police, and we request that they come and help control the area while we're out there. And we have been physically threatened.
I don't think we have an answer for you right now. I think you're giving us the answers right now. We're going to do something. I'm not sure what it is.
I'm not going to move.
I feel it's a good place to live, a good place to work. There are a lot of negative things, a lot of things that are going on visibly, of course, but this is not the total area. There are families here that are raising their kids here, and they're doing a good job raising, with their children. And I really love the area. I wouldn't live any other place.
AKA every single black person is not a scumbag. Thanks for that, sister. Jeez, man. Yikes. You talking about a motherfucking plague, man. We have unleashed the on this country, man. That's 40 years ago, literally 40 years ago, literally, okay, literally 40 years ago.
Yeah, and apparently, if you're to go to Portland, it'll be even more woke than it was then. So apparently white people are just not willing to recognize the pattern here. But yeah, this is just endemic to this population group. It's always going to be this way, always.
I'm telling you, man, absolutely, positively insane that you could go back to Portland in 1985.
What was it then, though? Are you saying it's 7% then or now?
Now it's 7%. Then it was probably less. Yeah.
Probably 2% then. That's just awful. That makes it even worse. 2% of these people can turn it into little Haiti.
Maybe going. At the moment, the so-called...
This is New York in 1968. Jesus Christ. We're talking about just these documentaries that they did back in those times. It shows that it was a problem. You know what I mean? It was a huge problem because TV space, there weren't but so many channels. There wasn't cable back then. This is before cable even, right? So you got ABC, NBC, CBS, and then you got maybe two other channels, channel 20 and whatever, UHF, whatever, two other channels, right? And they're taking up a lot of their 24 hours a day time talking about blacks and the problem that they're wreaking on society.
Yeah, it also dispels those dumbass old head narratives of back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day, we used to put them up. We used to put the dukes up and fight. We was real men back then, man. We weren't, you know what I'm saying? We weren't like these guys nowadays shooting and everything. You were worse. Actually, you were worse because there wasn't cameras everywhere. There weren't cameras everywhere.
When I die, there'll be bullets and gun smoke. You don't like my lifestyle? I'm rolling with the New Jack crew, and I'm a hustler.
That's what's called gangster rap. Hardcore, street tough lyrics of Los Angeles-based groups like Ice-T and Niggers with Attitude.